Welcome back to Talking with Our Traders, a Caesar Sportsbook original series, the podcast that takes you inside the mind of the sportsbook with our very own Caesar Sportsbook traders. I'm your host, Cindi Edwards, and with me today and all season long, Craig Mucklow, Vice President of Trading here at Caesar Sportsbook.
Hello there.
And Joey Fiesel, Head of Football here at Caesars.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
It's going good. Bad Bunny we saw is going to be the halftime show. What do you think of that, Craig?
That band. I'd rather be in a room full of pit bulls.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Who? What? Oh,
What?
me, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a feeling you've never heard of Bad Bunny.
No.
He's got a couple good songs.
Well, he's only got 12 minutes, so you can play both of them.
He's no Miley Cyrus.
Hannah
All
Montana.
right, let's get into some college football. UCLA shocks Penn State. First win of the season. First time an 0-4 team beats a top 10 opponent since 1985. Would Penn State be in the position they are in now if Beau Pribula was the starter instead of Aller?
Maybe. I've never liked Aller, to be fair. And Beau Pribula, he's playing for Missouri. He's playing lights out until they probably face Alabama this week. But no, Pribula has more of a dual threat ability. And would kind of give probably Penn State a little more dynamic edge. But I think just Penn State, you know, we asked last week who was the bigger frog, LSU or Penn State. I think we found out this past weekend. But
Clearly.
Kudos to UCLA. Jerry Neuheisel, the kid looks like he's, 15 years old out there. Coached it, couldn't even get the headset to work, ended up getting the big win. I'm sure Craig had a different angle there going into this game, but yeah, good for UCLA.
First of all, credit for your Monty Python look.
No, thank you.
Looking sharp today. UCLA covering was no real surprise. Penn had a really tough game against Oregon the week before, then had to travel cross country, and credit to the football boys, they did take an angle on the UCLA spread. So it's tough to play a real hard game. It went to overtime, then pick yourself up after a tough loss, and then travel across country and then play a team that's winless. It wasn't a surprise. I wouldn't really put it so much on Penn State. It didn't come as a surprise to me.
Interesting. How did the result impact Penn State's futures in the college football playoff odds?
If we look at, they're to make the playoff, they went all the way to 7-1, and they were the second or third favorite going into the season. And they were also very popular at that because the schedule looked like it was a walk-in. But looks like now it's a very big uphill climb for Penn State to get back in the college football playoff.
Was that a Miley Cyrus pun? It's the climb.
Oh, maybe it was.
Oh, really?
All right. Texas is now 3-2 on the season. Why do the Longhorns have the 6th shortest odds to win the national championship?
They have a talented roster. They have a very talented defense. We're not selling on the Longhorns just yet. They're still a very talented team, and we're just really reluctant to fully fade them. Even when they're playing Ohio State, it's not like they got blown out by Ohio State. It was a very close game, and Ohio State looks like they are the clear number one team. So, plus, when we get to playoff time, if the Longhorns are on the fringe, you know that the committee is going to push them through just for, we like to see the big teams up there. So, last week obviously did not look good. I am always rooting for, Billy Napier to get a win. So it was exciting from our point of view. But, Arch Manning's catching a lot of flack, but he's still got a lot of kind of building to do. He's, but we're not selling to Texas just quite yet.
No, I agree. You held Ohio State to 14 points. Mm-hmm. Clearly the cream of the crop of college football this year. You went on the road to Florida, which is always a tough environment anyway. Florida played Miami pretty tough as well. So, yeah, we're right. We're not overselling this one yet because overselling a price just off a knee-jerk reaction just creates liability.
Good point. Regardless of who gets the number one pick, is Arch Manning's best interest to possibly play another season rather than declare for the NFL draft?
He needs time to develop.
Gotcha.
And if this kind of season goes terribly, is the transfer portal open? Does he maybe go to Ole Miss? Is that an option? We've seen the way Lane Kiffin has played with quarterbacks, and that's where his family, Eli Manning went. That's the university. He kind of chose his own path with Texas, but maybe in the offseason, if he doesn't go, does he go to the transfer portal, go somewhere else?
Interesting.
I think it's safe to say a Manning will not win the Heisman.
Yeah.
I think a few factors for me. Would he be the unanimous number one pick going into the draft, which would decide his fate, which clearly we don't think he is.
Right.
Who holds the number one pick? If it is New
We don't know
Orleans,
yet.
then maybe. But is he want to go to the Browns in that
New
crowded
York
quarterback
Jets.
of the Jets? He's not the best quarterback in this class. So, if I'm his advisor and I'm not, I would advise another year, at least.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. Who is the scarier team moving forward, Miami or Alabama?
Miami looks like a complete team on both sides of the ball, but they are the ACC. The easy answer here is Alabama. They've just kind of rediscovered themselves since that opening week, and I think Alabama is the much stronger team overall.
Yeah, Alabama, because they scare me when they're on the road as a favorite.
Yeah.
So I'd be Miami, really. Miami are the better team, I think.
Okay.
All right. With all the movement and upsets this past weekend, which team is the biggest liability to win the college football playoff?
Right now, we're looking at Florida State Seminoles. They kind of built that up in the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
They've drifted a little bit more towards, I think they're 70, 75 to 1 right now.
No, they're 150.
Are they 150?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm just thinking of the last couple weeks. Yeah. And LSU is up there. We always have a really big betting base in Louisiana, but those are our two biggest so far.
Yeah, of the contenders, LSU 22s, Texas Tech 30s, and Oklahoma at 16. Florida State I left out because I think they're toast.
Yeah, they might be.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some game previews. Let's start with number 3, Oregon versus number 7, Indiana, in their first head-to-head matchup as Big Ten rivals. Line sits at Oregon minus 7.5, total 55. Joey, break it down.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. The game I'm most looking forward to, even more so than the Red River River rivalry. Can never say that.
I know.
But no, Cignetti is always electric. He's going to be livid on the sidelines, and this is a very tough place to play at Oregon. This line opened up at 10. We're now down to 7.5. So some sharper money coming in on Indiana and really angling that they can be competitive. This game is going to have a lot of futures implication, right? Likely the winning quarterback is going to be your Heisman favorite, whether Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore, especially if it's a shootout. It's going to have really Big Ten implications. It's going to have playoff implications. It's going to be a very good game. Obviously, Oregon has the edge here. Really tough place to play, and they just look solid. I think there was doubters going into the season whether Dante Moore could be that quarterback. He's proven them wrong, especially if you look at that whiteout game a couple weeks back. So I like Indiana maybe to stick it close, but I think Oregon covers at the end of the day.
Are Indiana 1-72 all time against a top 5 team? Did I say that stat correctly?
It's an insane stat, if so.
Yeah, but that's straight up. So
Yeah.
they're getting 7.5 points. So can they cover? Probably. Will they win? Statistics says no. I disagree with Joey's Heisman comment because the next game that we're going to cover. Indiana's toughest matchup of the season. They've got plenty of unranked quality to navigate the rest of the way. I think they've got Penn State, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
The Oregon for me, but no real opinion. They ran up the score against Illinois. 63 they put on Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people have that in their mind still. So, yeah, I think eventually that number starts tinkering back up because we've already laid Oregon.
Gotcha. All right, up next, unranked Texas visits number 6, Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. Is this a battle of survival in the SEC?
It's going to be a battle, all right. Texas really needs this going in unranked. The line suggests Mateer is playing. We opened this up at 3. It's now down to 1. It's a neutral site game, so no real home field. It's in Texas, but no real home field advantage here. Going to be a really solid defensive game, I think, at the end of the day. And I'm sure Greg Zangle here with Mateer coming back, if he does show out, especially against a really solid Texas defense, certainly will make some bumps to the Heisman odds. But if not, there's nothing really been announced yet, but the line suggests that Mateer will be in.
The fact that you're 10-1 now for the Heisman suggests he's playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
I like Oklahoma here only because Texas have struggled against good defenses.
Yeah.
and have not played well against above-average teams. Not really a huge opinion, but we have played Oklahoma, which does suggest Mateer is playing. And it would be absolutely the worst-kept secret going.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, number 8, Alabama will take on number 14, Missouri, on the road for the first time since 2020. Alabama wants to continue their win streak. Joey, break it down.
Yeah, I think Bama looks like the more complete team in this one. Missouri really hasn't played anybody of note. And it's going to be Alabama coming off 2 tough games. I mean, we saw the Vanderbilt probably shouldn't have covered that game, but they did. And they just really look solid defensively. Ty Simpson's really kind of getting into that role. I like Alabama here and Alabama big.
I disagree. My numbers tell me Missouri's value on the money line here. It opened 5.5. It's down to 3, was it?
3, yeah.
Yep.
All the money's come from Missouri. I just can't trust Alabama on the road at all, especially as a road favorite. So math tells me Missouri. I'm going to stick with Missouri.
All right. Let's get into our picks of the week for college football. What is your favorite college football game to go over?
I like that Bama Missouri game over 55 to go over. I think just Missouri's, they have an electric offense, and that's going to be their only chance in this game. I like that over.
I'm going to go Ohio State, Illinois over 49.5.
All right. Favorite college football game to go under?
Like the Florida Texas A&M game to go under. 2 solid defenses. We saw Florida at least shine this past week against Texas, but I don't think that's the standard. I think Texas is probably looking ahead to this game, so I like that game to go under, which is 46.5.
I'm never going to learn my lesson. Kansas and Texas Tech first half under 30. And I keep going back to the well. I keep getting my fingers burnt. I'm not going to learn, but I'm stubborn and old.
It's not going to be a fun one to watch.
Very
If you like
stubborn.
the under.
Yeah.
Favorite team to cover the spread?
I love Kent State versus UMass this week. Worst game
How
on
are
the
they
card.
favorites?
They're the 2 worst teams. The 2 worst teams in our power ratings.
Ugly.
They're going against. I'm going to take the better of the worst teams. Give me Kent State minus 2.5.
It's not a bad pick, actually.
Yeah.
When I looked at the card last night, I was like, that can't be right. Old Dominion over Marshall, 14.5 points.
Dominion's hot.
Yeah. Upset of the week?
I like Maryland to get it done versus Nebraska. I think this Maryland team's underrated. I think Nebraska's a little bit overrated, so give me that one.
All right.
My 2 upsets last week blew a combined 34-0 lead.
One of them was Maryland, huh?
One of them was Maryland. Oregon State over Wake Forest, plus 120. Nothing sexy this week, sorry.
No worries, Craig. Any weather we should be aware of?
At the main games, Kansas and Texas Tech will be windy first half. What a surprise. I'm on the first half under. But this is how desperate I am for weather. FCS. Campbell at Hampton. Northern Iowa at South Dakota State. Southern at Bethune-Cookman. Thankfully, weather.com, because I wouldn't be able to put them on the map. All going to be very windy.
All right, moving on to NFL. We are in NFL Week 6. But first, let's talk Baltimore Ravens. Texans crushed the Ravens last week. Baltimore is now 1-4 on the season. And for the first time, they're plus money for the division, plus 100. But are still favorites to win the AFC North. Is now the time to back the Ravens on the futures market?
It might be, but the next couple weeks is going to look grim because they're still going to be injured. If you look last week, I think 8 of the top paid players were off the roster. So that was
113 million.
113 million in salary was off the field, and it showed.
Yeah.
I think this Ravens team is still, I think, is the best teams when healthy. Obviously, they're not healthy now, so this might be the right time to buy in because I don't think the Steelers are that great. At the end of the day, I think we're going to see Aaron Rodgers kind of falter. So this might be the time where maybe this week or next week to buy in because they are 7.5 point dogs. So that the price isn't going probably any lower if they lose that one to the Rams.
I bet the Ravens last week for the Super Bowl, and guess which idiot went in again this week at 20s. Look, none of these are season-ending injuries. Yeah, they had 130 million of salary cap. They're under big pressure. They've already made a trade this week for a safety. Their price will get better with every game Lamar misses. Do I expect them to beat the Rams? No, but I expect them to cover. I think you'll see a better Ravens outing this week. But it just suggests the price because the division is so weak. The one thing that does on the horizon is the Bengals making the trade for Flacco.
Right.
Which means they haven't given up yet, especially when you're still in touch.
Yeah.
And maybe there's other value in the division at massive prices. Forget the Browns. But the Browns don't win in the division.
Browns are done.
The Browns don't win in the division in our next 5 lifetimes. The defense just can't stop anyone. They get a Rams team off a bye and off a heartbreaking result, and a mini bye because they played Thursday. Look, I backed them at 12s last week. I've already backed them at 20s this week, and I will do it again for one more week. But the thing is, they make the playoffs. They'll be healthy. They'll be dangerous.
Yeah. Do the Bengals become contenders with Flacco? Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think Flacco he's the Undertaker, right? He comes in, franchises are down, and he's going to get you to be competitive. And now he gets a chance to try to beat the Packers again.
I am my second fanboy quarterback in the league. Lamar, Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Right.
Both Ravens quarterbacks.
Yeah.
All right. The Arizona Cardinals just suffered perhaps the most hilarious loss in NFL history. Absolutely choked away a win against the Titans. First, how does a team recover from a collapse that bad?
That's what separates the good teams from the bad teams. And in order to kind of say, okay, that was one game, it was an absolute collapse. We saw the coach fired up on the sideline, even so much he got a 20% Craig McElroy salary fine after that. But no, this is where you learn your lesson. Obviously, I'm sure DeMarcado, he certainly got an earful, and I'm sure he felt it. Dropping that ball in the end. You hate to see it, and it happened, 2 weeks in a row? We saw A.D. Mitchell the week prior. It's just mistakes that good teams do not make. And how do you recover from that? How do you learn from that? I think Arizona will come out this week, and it will be telling whether they learn their lesson or not.
I would have cut him straight away. You drop that ball at the goal line, especially a week after it happening. I can't remember a Patriots player ever doing that.
No.
Because Belichick won't put up with it.
I'd have to wonder if the coaches said.
But this is on the coaches.
Exactly.
Literally, every single coach in every single team last week should have pointed to the Colts.
Right.
This is stupid. Don't do it.
Right.
I've scored the one touchdown I may score in my life. I'm holding on to the ball forever.
Yeah,
so
not letting go.
And it's the most important. But there is a theory that they're looking up at the scoreboard, the video screen, aren't they, as they're running into the end zone, and then they're looking up and then they're dropping it because they think they're over the goal line. But that's the theory. I haven't proved it or not. Look, they've lost 2 divisional heartbreakers against the 49ers and the Seahawks. Probably bad decision making. They should have gone for 2 when the defense was gassed. I thought the Rams did the right thing going for it the other night. You win some, you lose some, but you go for the jugular. You got to win games. The loss to the Titans was inexcusable. The drop goal, that's just stupid. But also, it comes down to the coach because they get the interception. You're 9 points up, was it correct at the time?
Yeah.
Just land on the ground. Just win the game. So it's down on the coach, and $100,000 fine probably wasn't enough.
Was that the biggest choke in NFL history?
No.
There's plenty more. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of any come to mind, but I'm sure. Yeah.
That was Houston against the Bills, the Music City Miracle.
Oh yeah.
All right. Moving on, do we owe Trevor Lawrence and the Jags an apology? Where do you rank Jacksonville in the AFC right now?
I don't think they need an apology. I picked him last week.
You did, yes.
So
you did back them.
I've at least backed him. I think Liam Cohen was a great hire.
Yeah.
He's clearly been fired up, and it's clearly shown. I think Travis Hunter was a terrible bad trade up. He has barely made an impact on the field on either side of the ball, and to kind of give away that much for that was for me an L. But this was a game where this is where they showed that are they going to push towards that contender? Or are they going to be the normal Jags that we're aware of? And they really pushed to be a contender. Where do they rank in my AFC rankings? Number 8. I have ahead of them Buffalo Bills, Chiefs, Colts, Ravens, Broncos, Chargers, and Texans.
Texans.
I got the Texans
Okay.
slightly better. I mean, we're not talking their 3-point.
This is super interesting. Okay. Craig?
I misread the question. I thought it said where do you have them ranked. So I don't even have them in top 10 in the NFL, which probably just doesn't put them in the top 6.
So we think their current record is
False.
fraudulent.
Look, they had Lady Luck on their side on Monday night. We had a customer who bet the Titans on Sunday, somehow won that game. Bet Alabama cover, somehow won that cover.
4th and 6, with no time. Should have just fell down.
He clearly had Biff's almanac from Back to the Future, film that you're way too young to remember.
The Jags
and he had the
as well.
Jags,
Okay.
right? So he gets the butt touchdown, a 99-yard pick 6. Luck be a lady tonight, and sure was on Monday night.
Trevor Lawrence falling twice.
yeah.
Chris
Yeah,
Jones just sitting
insane.
They
there.
just stood there.
Insane.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, no. Let's see them beat a real good team on the road.
Yeah, they have room to improve. I think they're better than I expected them to be,
Yes.
but they still have to be in more proven spots to prove that they're
Correct.
going to get there.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Are the Patriots back after that performance against the Bills on Sunday Night Football?
Oh, I already know Craig's answers, but mine is yes, they are so back.
So back.
Vrabel, Drake May team doesn't have a lot of flash. I'm not going to say that they have a lot of, they're going to be scoring a bunch, but this is a young team that wants to compete. I like the combination. I like Drake May out there. He looks like he may have been the guy all along, especially in these kind of rookie quarterbacks in these last 3 years. I do like the Patriots. I think they're back. It was very good Sunday night performance, up and down.
Well, you both mentioned last week when we brought up Drake May and if he was maybe being underhyped. You said, well, let's see how he comes out and performs in primetime. Was that a quality performance?
I think he changed the world's perspective. Yeah, probably. I mean, there's still time for mistakes and stuff like that. But as a young team and looking to kind of break that barrier of the AFC East with the great Buffalo Bills, they made a statement game on Sunday.
Now let's ask the hater himself. How are you feeling, Craig?
Now I know why you couldn't pronounce which NFL week it was because of the Pats win. No, they're not back. I did call them as the upset. But
You did.
This is how much I wanted to watch Drake May. I went to dinner at Peter Luger and ignored the whole game. But I had to
It
pretend
was a
that.
good game.
But near the end, I had the score up on the app. But at the end, I saw the Patriots had the ball and they were about to try and kick a field goal. So I had to pretend to go to the bathroom so I could watch the game. No. Wins against the Dolphins and Panthers don't make you playoff locks. You lost to the Raiders and you lost to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Your schedule is soft, yeah, I'll give you that. Next 4 games, Pats should win, so they're going to be a contender, but you're not going to win the division. Bills' schedule is equally as soft, so I just don't think it. We'll see a regression. Yeah, you played against a divisional opponent on Sunday night. You played great, but even I called that, so it's not that difficult.
All right. Well, let's get into a quarterback controversy.
Okay.
Maybe coming, maybe looming. Should the 49ers stick with Mac Jones, who has been balling going forward, even when Brock Purdy gets healthy?
Boy, was Mac Jones beat up on that Thursday
Yeah,
night game.
very.
And you still couldn't beat him.
Still couldn't beat him. And,
Yeah.
it makes me sick. And the wife was looking at me like, I'm watching and I'm rooting for the Niners, my absolutely hated team, against my team, the Rams. And she's like, what is going on? Why are you rooting for the Niners? No, they shouldn't. I think really what this game showed is that Shanahan is really making the case why they shouldn't have paid Purdy what they did, because he can do that with
It's a
anybody.
system.
It's the system. Look at Kendrick Bourne. Craig doesn't know who that is. The only reason you know who that is because he played for the Patriots.
Oh, well, there you go.
But he
Yeah.
looked like Brandon Ayuk out there. It was absolutely electric, and Mac Jones is just so beat up, pulling his pants up,
I
limping
know.
off the field. But he got it
Inhaling
done.
bananas.
And they said he had 8 bananas, and he had to come in the press. I had 3 bananas. To clarify it.
He
the
was
press
so
conference.
lying, by the way. He had more than 3 bananas. Okay.
Yeah, they should go back to Brock Purdy, but I really think they would have success with anyone not named Joey Feasel or Craig Mucklow.
Yeah. That's
So
not difficult.
they kind of have to go back to Brock Purdy,
you
though,
paid him.
because
You have to,
they
yeah.
paid him. Okay.
I looked last night when I was doing the question. I was like, is Purdy ever healthy? I just had this feeling in my head that he's constantly injured.
Yeah.
But then the amount of game starts he had didn't justify my initial thought. he's the number one quarterback on the team. You shouldn't lose your job because of injury, but this is the NFL, and wins are more important.
Right.
Mac Jones is balling right now, and rightly so. Is he the better quarterback than Purdy or vice versa? I don't know. I think it is a system. I just think you ride the hot horse until Jones struggles, you bring Purdy in.
And I don't think there's a rush to bring Purdy back. He's still dealing with that toe, which is really hard on quarterbacks. So they're probably.
Well, he didn't practice.
But Mac
again
Jones
today,
was
so.
questionable too. Yeah. So. Yeah.
All right. Which team has the worst defense in football right now? We've got the Jets with no turnovers. We got the Ravens on track to allow over 600 points for the first time in NFL history. The Bengals, just awful. Who do you guys got? Someone else?
Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
I think they
that's a
are
good
the
one.
worst defense. I mean, we look at the points they've given up. It's been a shootout in almost every game, except for they played the Jets, which good on them. But still, they scored 22 points at the end of the game. Jets got away with. But the Ravens right now, yeah, they're up there in one of the worst defenses. But I think that's having to do with what players are missing off the field. But Cowboys don't have that many injuries, and they're still just bad. So I got the Cowboys.
Craig?
Defensively on my ratings, my bottom three are Baltimore, Dallas, and Cincinnati. But Miami was 17-0 up the other day, and at no point did I think Miami were going to win that game because I know how bad that defense is. So the Ravens are there because of injuries. If you just look as a whole, the Dolphins have the worst defense in the league.
Wow.
At no point did I think Miami were going to hold on to that game. And sure enough, they didn't because they just can't stop nobody.
Yeah. All right, off to the worst start in franchise history. Could the Jets go 0-17?
No.
They got
Why not?
They got some cupcakes in the schedule. I still got them winning 4 or 5 wins. They're going to be favored against the Panthers, Browns, Dolphins, Saints, and going to be very close against the Bengals, Falcons, and Patriots. So I still think they get 4 or 5 wins, and I think they're going to surprise somebody down the road too. Just get that kind of off win, similar to how the Patriots got on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you've got them priced at 4.5 on the Caesars app, -110, so it's pick on both sides. My ratings, I have them at 5 wins. Can I see 5? Yeah, well, they get the Patriots twice. The Panthers, the Bengals, Falcons, Dolphins, Saints. There's 8 wins potentially. They're certainly not an 0-17 team. 3 of their games they could have, should have, would have won. The Bucks they gave away. The Dolphins, bad call near the end of the game. I'm trying to think of the other one that they blew.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
I don't watch Jets games. Sorry.
It's hard to watch.
Nobody does. But then again, like your head coach is supposed to be a defensive genius, and he was the one that was faked out by Dan Marino 31 years ago with a fake spike. And you're giving up 31 points a game on defense makes me question the genius tag.
All right. Okay, let's get into game previews. Heading into week 6, the Chiefs already have more losses than they had during the entire 2024 season. And the Lions, on the other hand, are on a 4-game win streak, the longest in the NFL currently. Line opened up Chiefs minus
I think 1. Maybe 1.
Yeah,
This sits at Chiefs -2 now.
Yeah.
Joey, who do you like here?
This is going to be the last week for the Chiefs without Rashee Rice.
True.
They've looked capable and certainly contender, despite me hating to see that for the Chiefs. So they're better than their record suggests, but this was last year, right? They had every game kind of go their way. I don't think they have a big change besides just missing their wide receiver 1, who comes back next week. But egg on my face for fading Dan Campbell. I thought they were going to be terrible without the coordinators. Looked just fine. And they're going to be on a roll. I think what this game comes down to is how big of a home field advantage Kansas City will be, especially on a Sunday Night Football in this big spot. So I'm going to give the advantage there. I think the Chiefs are the sharper side. It's went up to 2.5. My line suggests 1, which what we opened. But I think really it's that home field advantage on Sunday Night Football against Dan Campbell. And not only that, the Lions have some secondary issues going on, and don't give Mahomes any advantage there. So I think the Chiefs get this done here.
Ooh.
I made this game pick 'em.
Yeah.
53 on the total, so leaning slightly to the over. Look, the Lions are my number 1 team on my ratings. Mahomes as a home underdog is something special. I think it's like 12-4 or something similar, not far off.
Yeah.
Chiefs off a loss since 2020 or a league best 17-3 straight up. One for me to watch, especially as 2 of the 5 Sunday night games this year have hit 80 points. So I'll be praying for an under and lots of weather. But yeah, it could be pretty windy in the first half, actually, that game.
All right. Do you think this could be a one-score game?
Yeah, I think it can. I think it could come down to
because of the
final
spread.
possession. Yeah.
All right. Well, interesting enough, the Chiefs are 0-3 in one-score games this season.
And they were, what, 17-0?
I think 11-0 last year. Yeah, so definitely a swing. Let's move into our Monday Night Football doubleheader. We have Bills, Falcons. Bills are coming off their first loss of the season, and the Falcons are coming off a bye. Total sits at 49.5, and the Bills are -4.5. Joey, who do you like here?
I have this as a closer game than the market's going to suggest. So I'm going to say this is the trap game. This is the trap game of the week. I make it Buffalo -3 without the bump for the Falcons bye. So I think there's absolute value on the Falcons here. I think the Falcons really have stepped up their defense. But one thing I do not like is having my money sit in Michael Penix Jr.'s hands. So it's going to be a tough game, but I do like the Falcons getting the points here.
First of all, I hate these doubleheader Monday night games, especially when they overlap.
Not fun. I agree.
Ridiculous. Like, why can't you start one at 3 o'clock for an East Coast couple of teams and one at 6 o'clock for the West Coast?
Yeah.
Then at least you can watch both or watch one, whatever suits.
Not a hot take here.
Overlap.
I agree.
Boring. Bills are great off a loss. Second best to the Chiefs. 17-5 straight up. I make this 3-48. I'm with Joey on this. I think that there is obviously value to the Falcons, but obviously the money comes up because of the Bills coming off that Sunday night loss. And do I want my money in Michael Penix Jr.'s hands? Probably not. I'd rather have Joey's in his hands. Yeah, my heart tells me Buffalo because of the loss, but my head and my numbers tell me Atlanta. But one I'll just watch.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Moving on to the next Monday Night Football game, Bears versus Commanders. This is a rematch of last year's infamous Hail Mary, where cornerback Tyreek Stevenson was taunting the crowd instead of preventing the Commanders' game-winning Hail Mary touchdown pass. Does that come into play this week? Is this a bit of a revenge game?
It's going to be a revenge spot. I'm sure it's going to be on their mind because, the Bears will remember how much they blew that game, and it just, you never see Hail Marys actually connect. So it's going to be, it was a wild game last year, and I think this might be another wild one. 2 fantastic offensive play callers on the field, Ben Johnson and Kingsbury. Expect some trick plays, I would assume, and I expect to see some points here. So I like the over in this one. I do make it a little less and make it about 3. Bears also coming off a bye. So I think the value's with the Bears, but I like more so betting on the over in this spot.
All right, Joey likes over 49.5. Craig, do you agree?
I love the first half over 24.5.
Oh, okay.
For reasons that Joey knows. What an absolute classic this was last year.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great game. It's probably Jaden Daniels' coming
out party, yeah.
But then again, until there's all zeros on the clock, keep your mouth shut and do your job.
Yeah.
Right? There's a golden rule on the trading floor. Don't be talking or anything until everything says 0 and they're walking off the field. Something's not right here because I make this Washington 7 and you make it Washington 3.
Yeah, I value the Bears a little bit more, and a little bit shading on the Commanders. But Commanders have looked better than what I've seen, what I thought for the beginning of the season. But I think the Bears can.
Jaden coming back definitely helped.
Yeah.
They played well in a tough environment,
right.
Not a tough environment in LA, but a tough team.
Right.
And the Chargers led 10-0 last week, and Washington came all the way back. So, look, this is a game Washington really should win.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our picks of the week. What is your favorite NFL game to go over?
Bears Commanders 49.5.
Yes.
Well, you're gonna get that because I've got you the first half of it anyway. Chargers Dolphins over 43.5.
Ooh,
All right. Favorite NFL game to go under?
Bills Falcons under 49.5. So split on Monday night.
All right.
Cardinals Colts under 47.
Favorite team to cover the spread?
Give me those Cowboys -3.
All right.
I thought you hated the Cowboys.
Usually do.
Give me the Steelers -5.5. 5-0 off a bye week, last 5 weeks, and the Browns coming back from Europe.
Yeah. Upset of the week?
I think the Bears get it done against Commanders. They might be prone for that.
What was it? 3-point spread?
Yeah, revenge spot. The 4. It's 4.5.
Okay. I'm going for the hat trick
Okay.
because I got the Giants 2 weeks ago, Patriots last week.
Yeah.
Gonna hate me saying this. New York Jets plus 320.
Oh my God. First win of the season.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it a lot.
That's hard to.
Yeah,
Any weather to be aware of?
yeah. 2 first halves actually. Ravens first half wet and windy, and the Chiefs will be very windy for the first half, and then Arrowhead or wherever they call it now. That has problems with the wind.
Sure, they all still call it Arrowhead, so no
It's
worries.
Arrowhead. Yeah.
Let's get into our anytime touchdown parlay. 1 pick per person. Joey, start us off.
Jatavion Sanders for the Carolina Panthers at plus 330.
I like it. I'm going Stephon Diggs. He has 0 touchdowns in the 2025 season. However, last week was his I'm still him week. This is his message to the league. He will score this weekend.
Okay, not a bad choice. I'm going for a player neither of you two have ever heard.
Let's hear it.
All right.
Rondé Gadsden the
Oh,
second.
Ron Gadsden. His dad played in the NFL. I know, right?
And who did his dad play for?
I don't know. Who did he play for?
The Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had
okay.
And
great
who does a
guess.
Rondé Gadsden the second play for?
He plays for the Chargers.
Exactly. And what defense is he going up against? There
Philadelphia?
isn't one.
There isn't one yet.
Oh, plus 370.
All
That's a good
right.
angle. That's a fun angle.
I like it. All right, if you like it at home, you can tell that on the Caesar Sportsbook app. Let's get into our game picks. 1 NFL pick, 1 college pick. Who wants to start us off?
Well, you're leading with 6.
I know I'm leading.
So you should carry on.
Is just keep going?
Yeah,
Okay.
Keep getting these wins.
All right. And I'm going to go for my college pick, Texas team total under. Is it still at 21.5?
I'll have to look here. We can
Lock it in
fudge it
later.
for you
We
after.
can lock it in
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
but I'm going Texas team total under, and I'm going Seahawks over Jags because I do agree with you. Maybe the Jags beating the Chiefs aren't as big of a deal as maybe people are thinking. Who wants to follow me up?
I'll follow up. I'm going with the best game of the weekend and the worst game of the weekend. The battle of the worst teams can be Kent State -2.5. And I also like a Cowboys game to go over. So give me the Cowboys over 49.5 against the Panthers.
All right.
It's a big
Craig?
total. Okay, we're going to stick with what works. Oregon State +3 over Wake Forest. And my boy Bill, Chargers Dolphins over 43.5.
There you go.
All right. I like it. That's a wrap for this week's episode. If you don't already, please subscribe to Talking with Our Traders wherever you listen to your podcasts and follow at Caesar Sports on Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube. Guys, any last words before we head into the weekend?
No, good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Responsibly and have fun.
There you
Bye.
go.